stream. Period. So today we're gonna be talking about Cardi B. Did she or did she not bop Rah Ali? We're gonna talk about Shannon Sharpe and all
He
of the
was just fucking
craziness that's
stupid.
going. Yeah, yeah, all the craziness with that. Diddy, his lawyer is trying to remove things and get him up out of that prison cell, even though he deserves to be there regardless. But and we're gonna probably throw in a couple more things. I think there's one more Cardi B story that has been trending, possibly Glorilla, because she was recently trending as well.
Oh
So
yeah, I forgot about that.
I just thought about it when I started talking. So first things first, I guess we can get to Shannon, Uncle Shanny. We
That
can
ain't
get
my
him
damn
up out the
uncle. I
way.
don't. I don't call folks like that my uncle because that's weird.
He is a
Like
strange
from the
man.
start, but like if you ever listen to his podcast, like his thing,
Which
the
I don't.
nightcap, and I don't watch it, but they'll recap him and Ocho Cinco would recap like different sports
Mm-hmm.
things like I think like football and basketball and stuff like that.
Yeah, because ain't Ocho Cinco a football
He's
player?
a former football player. He used to play I forget who he used to. I feel like he was a Miami something.
He
But
was married to Evelyn Lozada. I remember that.
yeah, he was. And then it came out that she made a bigger deal out of what happened to her than what it actually happened or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't know, but
That's off
um
topic. Off topic.
anyways, they talk about they'll have like little segments where they'll talk about things that are popular
Mm-hmm.
and he gets excited over young girls.
Oh, see, I
Like
didn't know that. I didn't know
it's
that.
like when you watch the like they had little clips that they were pulling up from the nightcap podcast
Mm-hmm.
and my house smells really good anyway, and he was just basically like, oh my god, oh Joe, you gotta go like find the you would have to search up the clips,
Yeah, because
but
I don't see a lot of
he
him. I'm
was
gonna be honest.
yeah I really don't see it either. I only see it on my page because sometimes I get like popular stuff over there, but he was like just really he gets really excited about seeing young girls and like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he settled his lawsuit today, not today, earlier this week
Yeah, it was like probably 2 days ago.
with that 23-year-old girl for like 20 something $1 million or something like that.
It was 20. Was the number confirmed? Because I keep seeing
I don't
50.
I don't think first of all, I don't even think that it ever got leaked because when it was announced that he settled it, they said it was a mutual agreement. So I don't even know if it ever if
If there was a number attached.
yeah, if there was ever a number attached. You know how people like to speculate and make
Yeah.
stuff true that ain't.
Well, people said that. Okay, I saw something a few weeks ago, and people were like, she had retired from OF, and basically she had decided that she was going to go full throttle with other event like things in her life. So, I- question mark. Question mark. But I kept saying 50 million. And then when I was watching the Breakfast Club, I think today and yesterday, I saw 50 million again. So I don't know if it's 50, but that's a
The
lot of
lawsuit
money.
initially was $50 million,
Hmm.
I think, but they settled it for an undisclosed amount. I haven't seen any amount circulate online
Yeah, because they
or
was trying to give her 10 at first.
that I've seen, and it was everybody's clowning him because it's like you then settled this lawsuit with this girl, and now you can't even retire. You didn't retire this OnlyFans model, but now you got to work, and now you can't retire. And meanwhile, your daughter only had a budget of $30,000 for her wedding.
Which is wild.
Priorities a little bit fucked up,
Which
sir.
is wild. But even though you get sued for a certain amount, that doesn't mean that you have that amount of assets. So they might it might not be that big of a number. That's probably why they won't, but well, it was closed, so they won't tell us. But
Even
it's
if it
one of those
was,
things. He probably don't have that much money.
even if it was, they can still choose to not disclose it. They can have her sign an NDA to say, you know, we're not going to talk about it. Don't
Hmm.
mention it, even whether he has that amount of money or not. And then not too long after that, within like 72 hours of that dropping, he was fired from ESPN, which we already knew was going to happen. You're not going to have that much scandal, a scandal big as that one, and think you're gonna stay on the ESPN. ESPN is a Disney company, baby. You
Well,
wouldn't go
yeah,
right.
now they are. Yeah,
They've
I
always
would.
been Disney.
Have they?
Yeah, they've always been owned by Disney.
I didn't know that. I don't know nothing about ESPN. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I just know I was paying for that shit for a long time, and my husband never watched it. That's all I know. Disney, give me my money back. Now that I know. But Shannon Sharp, I guess you definitely get a donkey of the day because that stupid. Don't
And then
make
what's the
better
name of
choices.
what's the name of that man that be doing? He's because he be like he started videos. He be saying and then, but he be doing like recaps of the news and shit. Anyways, not only did he have to settle, not only he settled that lawsuit, but there's another woman coming out suing him for $20 million. Him and Chad Ochocinco for $20 million, saying that they humiliated her or embarrassed her. I think at a for going to a concert or some shit. He just got a lot going on, and I feel like
Yeah,
when it rains, it pours, and that girl just opened up the floodgates. Because you know, when one comes, there's
they all.
always more.
Yep, yep.
Always.
I I watched the Breakfast Club. I know a lot of people don't agree with the Breakfast Club, but one thing that Shannon Sharp and Envy always say is, it's not something they have come up with, but like it's easy to get into trouble. It's just hard to get out of it. And with Shannon Sharp and other men like him in the industry, I feel like for years they were able to get away with doing, wild stuff in behind the scenes. And now that we have the world of social media, nobody's business is their business. It's gone. That sense of privacy, we don't have that anymore. Like it's gone. So the shit y'all was doing back in the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, y'all can't do that no more.
My
I
thing
mean,
is, we wouldn't have even known. It wasn't even about the fact that he like him doing wild things behind the scenes and getting away with it. I don't think because a lot of it had to do with like, okay, we always everybody since Shannon Sharp, um, I didn't know who Shannon Sharp was until a few years ago, honestly. Truthfully. I didn't watch TV, so
yeah,
I
you
didn't
weren't
know
a sports person. You
he
wouldn't know
had a
anything
show.
sports.
So for me personally, when I started finding out about Shannon Sharp and I started hearing things about him, people were saying he don't like black women, he only dates white women, da da da. When we saw what he was being accused of and the shit they was talking about with baby gravy, I understood why you only date them kind of women. Because black women don't be going for a lot of that shit. And if they
Hmm.
do, like that's fine. But there's a lot of other shit that Shannon does that black women just wouldn't put up with, honestly. And
Yeah.
that's why you date the kind of women that you date. And there's no shade or shame there in that. But you were talking to her crazy, saying you was gonna F her up and all this kind of stuff. Like that it's just a lot. And then she's barely legal. Like
Hmm.
she don't even know how to wash her ass.
Breast milk just got off her goddamn breath.
I mean,
Just got off her breath.
just she's still trying to figure out what life is like
For real.
literally. And it's just crazy because Envy really showed his colors on Breakfast Club. He was like, well, I mean, it's legal, she's legal.
Yeah, Envy
That's what's
definitely
gonna fuck y'all
says.
up every time.
Yeah, and I know somebody in their comments on one of their videos. I tried to go back the other day and screenshot it so I can talk about it on my other Aisha Said So page. But somebody was like, Envy has daughters, and the way he think is so strange. I don't
Very
know how
much.
old his wife is. I'm gonna assume that she's near his age. But somebody was like, if Gia ever decided to divorce Envy, Envy will probably out here dating a fucking 18-year-old
Oh
that
yeah.
just turned 18. And it puts things in perspective for you. Like Charlemagne has daughters, and though he says wild and reckless stuff, he never fetishizes over a little girl, like ever. We've never
And it's
seen
just
that.
it's just weird because it's like, how are y'all saying, well, she's 18, so she's legal? This is not about legalities.
Mm-mm.
It's not about that. And then that whole legal word. So if she was 17 and I had dated a guy one time that was like, he dates young girls.
Man, that sounds crazy as
And
fuck.
when I like, it didn't dawn on me that, I figured young girls my age, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, I mean, if she's 18, she's legal. So I'm just like, you know what?
Mm-mm.
No.
Me as a 29-year-old grown ass woman, almost 30-year-old woman, if I was to divorce my husband tomorrow, There's nothing an 18-year-old little boy can say to me.
Can say to me, do for me, buy for me, shit,
Nothing. My
nothing.
nephew just turned 8 years old. I can't imagine in 10 years he's going to have the mental capacity to date a woman that's in her 50s. He's not. He's just not.
Not.
That frontal lobe, it really got to develop. That got to develop.
And I really feel like I really feel like like, yeah, it develops at 25, sure, but I feel like it don't fully form for real maybe
Hmm.
until you're 30.
Yeah. Because a lot of people like it clicked. It just clicked. I don't know what it is about being 30, but that's a whole nother. I feel like in your 30s, you are truly adulting. You are an adult. In
Yeah,
my 20s, I haven't
you'll
felt that.
you'll know before I will, because
I got a few months, child. But let's get into our next thing. So let's jump into Rah Ali and Cardi. So Cardi was in France. She was headed over so that she can do her she was on some like video shoot stuff for her album. So she saw Rah Ali. Now Rah Ali is Nicki Minaj's friend. I don't know if they still close. Y'all know how Nicki be out here, child. I don't
he
know.
was also on Living Hip Hop at
And
one
apparently
point.
she be doing she does a podcast. I can't confirm or deny, but the clip I saw was her on the podcast, so I'm gonna assume
I
so.
think it was her podcast because Nosy Bystanders had a clip.
hmm So Cardi sees her. Now I'm gonna tell you from Cardi's perspective first. I'm not gonna go on the whole thing because y'all can go watch these videos yourselves. Cardi says she saw her, looked at her security, was like, "Hey, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do?" He told her, we in France. You really shouldn't do nothing, but you would look like a square if you decided to not do something. Because remember back when Harper's Bazaar, is that how you say it? The
Vanity
party?
Fair.
Vanity Fair, when they had their party a couple years back, Cardi got basically, I'm gonna just say she got jumped by Nicki, Rah Ali, and the security that was with Nicki. And Cardi walked away disheveled. She had a bump on her head, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, she got beat up. She got beat up." So with that incident, Cardi walked away, hadn't seen Rah in person, apparently since that day. Now, when she sees her, Rah Ali was sitting in a wheelchair, looking sickly. She not like, I don't know. I guess she had a cold. I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with that lady, but she was sitting in a wheelchair in the airport. So Cardi leans over. She asks him what should I do, and he's like basically nothing crazy because we out the country. This ain't our people over here, and y'all know friends don't be liking black people for real. So she walks over. She talks crazy. Ends up on a speaker. Now that's from Cardi's perspective. Rah Ali said she was sitting down. I'm assuming still in this wheelchair. And she states that Cardi was throwing stuff at her, but it wasn't a speaker. She kept talking about it wasn't the speaker. But that's where the story kind of fades and fizzles in the middle because it's like, what happened? What really fucking happened? We will never know. Okay, unless the security guard come out and say something. So if Cardi felt like she got her one. So if Ra goes back to Nikki and say, "Yeah, I saw that bitch," but she, I stood on business, but she tried to do something to me. Da, da, da. Basically, try to prove herself. So this is my thing. Cardi has a lot going on. She's getting a divorce. She has another young lady trying to sue her because she threw a microphone at her and it hit her. Cardi goes on stream and says one thing. Rah Ali goes on stream and says another. If people, because people were like, if they decide to take this to court, Rah Ali could get some big money. No, Rah Ali wouldn't be able to get big money, in my opinion, because she denied what Cardi said. If she didn't deny what Cardi said, things can be different. But she's already publicly said this is what happened. She only threw things at me. And it wasn't a speaker. The speaker didn't hit me. No speaker hit me. So the stories will be very conflicting. And if that's her confession from jump, trying to prove something otherwise in court would be a waste of fucking time, resources, and the judge's money. Okay? Not the judge's money,
Here's
but
my
the
thing.
people's money.
Here's my thing with the whole situation, right? Cardi B already has a lawsuit that's pending with the girl from 2023. She threw a microphone at old girl because old girl threw water on her, even though I guess according to the girl, Cardi B had asked people to throw water on her because she was hot. Okay, cool. This whole situation with Raleigh happened. Okay. This whole situation with Raleigh happened almost 10 years ago. Okay, this was back in like 2017, 2018. So almost 10 years ago, right? And I understand the whole thing of standing on business and keeping that same energy, but at some point, standing on business and keeping the same energy is what's going to keep you in court and keep people suing you. You know what I'm
She gonna
saying?
stay in
You have
litigation.
to adapt. You have to let go of those old ways of thinking for real, because otherwise, like, fuck what it's gonna look like for you in your hood. Like, people respect you regardless because of, I feel like, what you've managed to accomplish in less than 10 years. What Cardi B has done, in my opinion, in 10 years, let's just say in 10 years' time, it takes most women in the industry 15 or 20 to do.
And she did that shit organically.
Organically. Social media really changed the way a lot of these girlies are able to market themselves, in a way, the way a lot of these girls are able to like fast track their careers. Cardi B was on a whole reality show. And from that reality show, she was already on Instagram anyways, but got on that reality show and her platform grew tremendously. Started putting out music. Girls was fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? And when she got into this whole industry, like, it was a learning curve for her on how you have to conduct yourself when you are in front of people.
Hmm.
You're in a whole other country and you still on that, which I understand. You've been from the streets. It's like, look, I can't, you snuck me. But what happened was, at that Vanity Fair party, she tried to get at Nikki. Security was holding her. Raleigh, I guess, took a hit at her while she was being detained. So it was like, oh, bitch, you trying to sneak me. I got you. I'm forever and
Hmm.
always on that with you. Get that, understand that. But you have a lot. And she even said, I understand I'm a mother of three. I got a lot more going on, but I couldn't leave this earth knowing that somebody had snuck me. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. But in the end, will it be worth all of that when you have to continuously go back to court?
Yeah, and street cred shouldn't be trumping your children.
And
Because
then
what if they would have detained her?
not even just kids, but like, yeah, your kids, but think of all the things you have built. You have a business where you do whip shots. You have um an album that's coming out. So what if you had gotten detained? Now you can't do any work. You can't promote it properly because
Yeah.
she's in the stages of promoting the album, doing different. You know what I'm saying? You're getting booked for all these different events and things like that.
Yeah. Why fuck up the opportunities you got
Yeah,
going
you have
on?
a lot to lose. You already messed up. You fucked up an opportunity years ago. Do y'all remember? I don't know if anybody remembers, but Cardi B was slated to be in a Call of Duty game. But because she had a pending lawsuit with them, you remember them girls that got to fight in the strip club over
Hmm.
Offset?
Yeah, I remember.
Fucked that opportunity up because of those charges that were pending at the time. A decision
Hmm.
in the past affected her future at the time, and she was not able to cash in on a potential, nice payday. And
Yeah, that would have been epic.
you
That
know
would
what
have
I'm
just.
saying? So it's just like, think about, y'all have people have to think about shit like that. Them niggas in the streets, people's in the streets. I did not mean to say that word. People in the streets, they are not they are not thinking about all that you have to lose.
Hmm.
They're not thinking about that. Street cred don't care nothing about all the things that you have built, and all the things that you have amassed for yourself at this point. In the name of street cred, you're gonna lose all that, and for what?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. Some behaviors get old and you have to learn to outgrow things, because that right there, like I said, I understand. Shit, I'm gonna get me regardless, but at the same time, you have to be um you just gotta think about shit. That's all.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where I feel like as an adult, you gotta look at stuff not in one track mind. Like, revenge only takes you one or two places: to jail or dead. And you can only come back from one. So it's like the options are terrible. You know what I'm saying? So I always think about, like, okay, is it worth it? Is it gonna actually gain me anything for this besides this temporary, like, feeling of gratification? And that's the problem. Because in that moment, yeah, she felt like big shit. She popped off. She did her thing. But then it's like, okay, peel back what's really going on. You got all this good going on, but you also got a lot of bad going on that's taking money out of your pocket. You wasting money in the courts because you want to be a hothead. Don't nobody want to work with no hothead at all. And so even though the people love Cardi, she got to learn to just let shit go. Her and Rah Ali are parents. They're mothers. And you would think, they wouldn't be out here acting like this because I know they wouldn't want to have their daughters out here in these streets acting like that. It's upsetting to see. I'm gonna just say it. It's upsetting to see. Sometimes we just gotta let it go. We got to let it go because if the opportunity presents itself for Cardi and Nicki to be in the same room together, I would hope that the first thing that they don't do is start swinging. Because it's like, for what? What are you proving at this point? Because Nicki done said a couple tweets, you done said a couple tweets. Like, come on now. At some point, get over it. Get over it. Yeah, they don't even know each other outside of like the personal realm. And that's my thing when it comes to that. I guess the next topic, Diddy. Sean Combs, his lawyers are trying to drop those charges. So the Mann Act, he got 2 counts of the Mann Act, and that is the was let me see if I can get this right the first time. I think the transportation of like people it, to say that you're like for like money for sex and money, something like that. Leah, look that up because I want to make sure I'm
He
getting this
had a
right.
prostitution charge, but he was convicted on the prostitution charges, but not the sex trafficking charges.
Yeah, so it was the man neck, whatever that means, because I don't I'm drawing a blank. So basically, his lawyers are basically trying to prove that there's no proof in this trial that just finished up. There's no proof of the man act of him doing anything. Now, he was getting prostitutes, he was asking for prostitutes, but he was not the one making the calls. He was requesting. He was not the one, getting gratification for these prostitutes. So, do I think hold on. Do I think that Diddy can get off scot free from this? I don't really know because the way the verdict was given, we didn't see that coming. So I feel like this is one of those cases that's unique. No case ever in American history we've seen anything like this. They're looking at other cases trying to see, okay, people that have been trialed and convicted for prostitution, how far did they take the case? A lot of them were able to get out of prison during the whole like the waiting trial of the sentencing because sometimes you can get sentenced years out and it could take a while because courts are backed up. It was a lot happening. Hell, people I heard are still getting sentenced from 2020. It's 2025. That's a long time to be sitting there not knowing what your fate is. So I feel like with Diddy, it's a chance that it could work. And then Trump dumb self saying out his mouth that, oh, I can pardon him. Donald, just leave it alone. Let the people in law handle that. But as far as Diddy, like I said, I just don't know. I really don't know. I don't. It can go one or two ways. What do you think about that, Leah? Hello.
I muted myself because I was making my food and I didn't want to make no extra noise. But
Oh.
I think here's my thing, right? Trump is going to pardon anybody that he feels is wrongfully convicted. That man has 34 felonies, and if President Biden had given him a pardon, he probably would have been praising Biden to this day. Honestly, he probably wouldn't have had too many bad things to say. But then again, he's Donald Trump, so who knows? I think the judge in this case is going to look at all of the elements. And I think ultimately it's going to be up to the judge to say whether or not Diddy, whether or not he can get away with this. I don't think they're going to let him out because I think that they already said he's not going home because he's exhibited he's a threat to the witnesses in the trial and he has a way of being able to intimidate people.
Hmm.
If you notice in the trial, um they were already saying that he was making little like gestures at the jury,
Yeah,
and
he was making faces and shit.
yeah, making faces at the jury, looking at, doing little things like that. He already got reprimanded for that. So I don't, based off of that information and the ruling that the judge gave, I don't think that he's gonna have a chance of getting out. And if he does get pardoned by Donald Trump, that might be his best option, honestly, to get pardoned by that man. I'm not gonna say president because he's not president. Anyway, to be pardoned by that man, because otherwise, I don't see him getting out of there. I
Mm-mm.
don't. And yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this. Diddy is in a very unique situation, right? Like this is just like the YSL trial that was very unique. We have never seen nothing like that before. I would want to see him in jail for something, some years, because he's already been there. It'll be a year soon, or is it 2 years? I think it's a year. He'll be there a year soon, so that's 1 year down. I'm gonna say at least minimum 10, because he's what the fuck? Did you hear that? That scared me. I don't know what that was, but a minimum 10 years. And can I say they can prove, like they can continuously prove that he did what he did with these women, and he should be convicted like to the highest extent of the law? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is one of those things. His lawyers is trying very hard, very very hard to prove his innocence. But it's like, well, they didn't even try to prove his innocence because I mean, we know he did what people saying. But was it that heinous to have life in prison? Question mark. Like,
Here's the
question
thing,
mark.
right? The lawyers did their job in the sense of the jury could not find him guilty of the more serious charges, right? I'm eating a burger, y'all. So if I sound different, the judges couldn't find him guilty on any of the more serious charges, right? Or jury, I'm sorry. So, in essence, it's a win for his attorneys for him to even be found guilty on the lesser charges. It would have been more of a win if they had gotten him off, but they couldn't do that. Diddy is not totally innocent. And I'm gonna say this: just because they didn't find you guilty of what they charged you with doesn't mean that you didn't do it. It just means legally, this in the legal realm, the state didn't have enough evidence to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. The state has the burden to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty of what you are being charged with.
Wasn't this one federal though? This wasn't even just the state. Wasn't it the
Yeah,
federal?
but still, the burden of proof still remains. No matter if it's federal, state, whatever, the burden of proof still lies with the prosecution. As your defense attorney, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to build a case. You do. If I'm prosecuting you, Aisha, Anthony, as your defense attorney, Anthony can choose to do exactly what Diddy's attorneys did and say, we don't have any witnesses. We don't we're not going to call anybody to testify. Can we just go to closing arguments? They don't, cuz they're not the ones that's seeking the charges. I
I
am.
mean, I get that. I
Like,
understand that. But I feel
but
like
like,
with his lawyers, not his lawyers, his with the prosecution, they just want to see him in prison, even if it's the next year. As long as he gets some time, that they're happy with that. Now, would it be what they want? Probably not, because
yeah,
they
but I
want
think
life.
I think he will do some time in prison. I don't think he's going to get away with this at all. I don't, like I said, he's not
He ain't getting
innocent in
football numbers.
anything. He's not innocent in any of this. Even though he wasn't found guilty, I believe everything that them folks said. I believe he
Hmm.
did kidnap that lady and tie her up. And I believe he did extort money from Cassie's family, and then with typical narcissist, he sent it back and tried to say it wasn't nothing. I believe Hell, you ain't even, whether you want to believe it or not, he beat Cassie. You saw the video, and that's what really got me. But I
Mm-hmm.
often wonder during that whole trial, did the prosecution prove Rico? Because a lot of
No.
that testimony, from what I was seeing, and I wasn't really watching it because again, that's a lot
It
to
was a
every
lot of
day.
information every day.
Every day, the not even so much that it was a lot, but the gravity of the information that was being presented.
Well, especially once we got past the freak offs. They said that so much in the beginning. That's what had everybody captivated. But once we got past that, then we was getting into the meat potatoes, and that woman set up on that damn stage, told us everything that happened in their relationship, and she dropping names and things. He didn't expect Cassie to get up there and say all what she said. Jane Doe, no, I don't even think it was Jane, but Doe. There was another woman that was on the stand. Basically, was like, "I still love him. I would still be with him, but he doesn't want me." It's like, girl, like, are you okay? Are you cool? Like, some of it was like it gave joke. I'm gonna be very honest. It gave joke. It gave this is entirely way too much. That one, um, I think he was a male escort. I don't remember. I'm getting him and another guy mixed up in my head. But the one guy that got on the stand, he was just very like witty, and it was hard to take it seriously. So that's when I checked out. Once all these other people got on the stand, I'm just like, this is a lot.
I'm gonna tell you this: I didn't follow it from the jump
I was in there
because I knew
midway.
because I knew. I ain't gonna say I didn't follow it as closely. I kept up with, like, I watched this one woman who like was at the in the courtroom, and giving updates at the midday and at the end of the trial and things like that. So I would watch
Hmm.
her videos, little snippets of her videos, and even some of nosy bystanders videos. But I wasn't following it closely. But even though I wasn't following it closely, I knew when things were bullshit.
Hmm.
I used to have to tell my mom, the wannabe Diddy aficionado, um,
Not her standing tall for Diddy. Oh, geez.
not standing tall, but like watching the trial and trying to keep up. And I'm like, you do know that there are no cameras in that room, right? I know, but they recapping it on YouTube. I said that stuff that they're talking about is not real. None of that stuff happened. It's AI. It's the AI voice reading it. They're saying the same thing for everybody when they're asking when the prosecution asked them, so why did you come forward today? It was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. I'm like, turn that off. Turn that off. When they recapping it on YouTube, girl, I'm like, stay off YouTube. Stop doing
Hmm.
that. You getting all your news from YouTube thinking that it's real and it's not. If you're gonna follow the trial, you need to watch a source that is credible. Then she started watching Court TV
Oh, wow.
because they were recapping. Now, I'd rather you watch Court TV and watch Ashley Banfield than to watch some AI YouTube channel who's sensationalizing shit just to get views. They don't know what
Hmm.
the fuck is going on in that damn courtroom. You can't have videos. You could not have any type of recording devices. The only thing that you could have was notes and your eyes, and you could only write it down. You could not bring a camera in there, a phone, or nothing like that in there because it's a federal trial, and they do not allow those to be.
Yeah, the only thing they had, the only person with the device was the proctor. That's it. And then anybody else that's come in that is a part of the media or however, like journalists, you got a pencil and a pad. You got people that's writing things down so quick, so fast that you're catching up. You got to catch up if you get behind or whatever. So I definitely was only listening to actual sources, like people we can trust that's gonna tell us the news. Like that's one thing that the news sometimes definitely does is they'll tell us something, but you can't put your opinion in it. And you also can't add extra fucking fluff. Like just give me the story.
Yeah, and that
But
and like
AI
the
is
thing with the thing
dangerous
with
as
them
fuck.
YouTube channels, with them my mom was watching. I'm like, girl, you can't tell that that's AI. You can't tell you ain't listening to the voice. You so in tune to it that you're not paying attention.
Hmm.
What it is you put that stuff on, then you on your phone, girl. Turn that shit off. Don't I want to hear that? But
Yeah.
my mom was watching it and calls herself trying to know everything. But it's like they say that Beyonce finna testify. Why the girl get out of my face?
The closest to Beyonce we had got was when Kanye West popped up in court because they said his name because of the shit with Diddy's ex girlfriend. What she said, and she was like, "Oh, popular rapper, they made me do a threesome," and it was him and it was Kim and Kanye. She did the threesome with, and he Diddy got mad because she did a threesome with someone else, and he's like, "Oh, bitch, you doing freak offs with other people," and it wasn't that she just had a threesome. That's basically the base of that. And
My
when she
thing with
popped
the
up, he was
whole
like defending himself. I'm like, Kanye,
my
go sit down.
thing with the whole like with Jane Doe, right? People were releasing her name even though they weren't supposed to. That's a crime.
Hmm.
That's a crime. So academics should have been arrested. But
There's a lot of things that should be done to academics.
like she was talking about like, I couldn't leave him. He was paying for my lifestyle, da da da. Da. And I just be feeling like sometimes like I don't know, people were just being very insensitive with this damn trial. Especially with the things they were saying about Cassie. Oh, she stayed for the lifestyle. She wanted it. She liked it. Did y'all not see the same goddamn video of her trying to get away?
Hmm.
Like, what are y'all talking about? I don't think though. To sum it up, ah, come back. I don't think to sum it up that he's gonna get out. I think that he's gonna stay in there. I do think that he's gonna get a little bit of time. He's gonna get some time. Maybe not the maximum amount, but he'll get some time because the judge does try to be try to be fair in his ruling. And I will say there were a lot of things that the defense, Diddy's defense, didn't do. That when they tried to do it, the judge was like, you should have did that when you had the opportunity." No, denied. So I do think that he's going to get some time.
Yeah.
Might not be as much as we think he deserves, but I think he's going to do some time, and he might get time served because he's already been in there for a year or so. But we'll have to wait and see. I think his sentencing date is in October.
Yeah, it's in October.
So we'll have to wait and see till then what they think they're gonna do. And even if he does go to prison, like he might not do no time at all if Donald Trump pardons him, because
Hmm.
that's what he likes to do.
Hell yeah, because when he pardoned Lil Wayne, everybody was like, yeah, there's no hope. There's none. Because that was so random. Like, for real. But if he does, that would be a slap on the fucking wrist. But I feel like there's certain things that the president shouldn't be able to do. And pardoning someone because of your personal feelings shouldn't be something, not like, because we've seen the case. Trump would be only doing that to be like, see, I do like black people. Like, that's how that would come off. It wouldn't, it I could see if it was like somebody that was wrongfully convicted, which there are a lot of men that are in the prison right now, well, in a prison right now, that have been wrongly convicted, but they're there. So there's hundreds of other men that he can go and help out. But if he pardons it, that's just gonna be like the biggest fuck you to the government, because it wasted their time to go through the trial, the wasted time of the lawyers that were involved on both sides, like just a waste of time. So, Chad, I guess we gonna see. I guess so.
I
But we
think
already,
I think
huh?
what I remember with Donald Trump is that he has a personal vendetta against, and none of his trials were federal. Donald Trump had a lot of state trials. Um, None of them were federal. He had his biggest trial, I think, was in New York, where he got those felony convictions, but they weren't federal.
Mm-hmm.
But Donald Trump has a big a vendetta against anybody who was actively like against him, and he
Mm-hmm.
has this thing for people who he calls it a witch hunt.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of black men who feel like Diddy being held accountable and women coming forward talking about the abuse that they experienced um while being around him is a witch hunt. And those type of men really scare me because that tells me that you wouldn't believe your own niece, your own daughter, your own cousin, if they came to you and said that they had been experiencing abuse or they had been, violated in any way by somebody that you've known for 20, 30 years. Like men like that always scare me.
Yeah, because it
And with the
gets.
way
Just stick around. It'll be okay.
with the way Donald Trump is going, Donald Trump loves an executive order, and Donald Trump especially loves a pardon. So it wouldn't
Hmm.
surprise me if he pardoned Diddy, and it's going and I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if he did it.
It's
I,
a slippery slope. It's a very slippery, slippery slope. I feel like we have definitely held a lot of pretty good conversations in today's live. We're at 40 minutes and 50 something seconds. So,
this is the shortest live we've ever done.
girl, because we knew what we came on to talk about. We was straight to the point. See, this is what we need to do for our fucking podcast. Be able to know when to wrap it. But I don't know. I feel like I set up this stream wrong because nobody came in. I feel like these have been on private, which don't do nothing for us. But I will put it public. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for making it this far. If you have, Lee, you got any final remarks for the people?
Final remarks. I'm still hungry.
You should have ate the fries.
I can still make fries. I just didn't feel like making them.
We'll make the fries. Definitely make the fries.
I
I'm
wonder if I,
making.
I wonder if I should put them in there with the burger, like that the burgers was on. No, that's kind of raw meat. So no.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Don't do that. Unless the only way I would agree to you doing that is if you had already cooked the burger and you're just trying to warm it up with the fries. That's different.
Now I already cooked the burger. Like I had already cooked it all, already. But like I just don't feel like having to go in there and take the foil out and do all that extra shit.
Yeah.
Oh well, I had to do it anyway. Anyways, that is it for the live. Thank y'all for watching. Hopefully, the next time this one will be public because the last video we talked about only had 2 views on it. But live and you learn, right?
Yeah, I gotta change the fucking settings over here, but it's okay. It's okay. It's just a fucking learning lesson. Okay, that's all. That's all. But alright, y'all. Bye. And don't forget to like.